Kensurfs here with another video. It's not going to be a shaving video today because I'm going to take this opportunity to answer a couple of questions that I had on the same subject, and it relates to vintage razors. And now, I just received in the mail today, I'm very happy to say, a Gillette Rocket. Made in England, and I think this is the Paratus. I forget the name, what it is, but I'll post it up here. But it's arriving for the first time, and although it looks nice and clean, I am not sure that I want to shave my face immediately with it without cleaning and sanitizing it first. So some people have asked me, what do you do to sanitize? Now, there's a lot of videos out there on this gentleman does this gentleman does that, this gentleman does that. But I'm going to tell you what I do and what I've learned. Well, at first, I want to clean this thing up. And the thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to use something like Brasso on it, because Brasso has abrasives and chemicals in it that could remove the nickel. Usually these are nickel-plated brass or nickel-plated something, and you don't want to remove the finish on this. So what Razor Emporium, who did the restoration on my red tip, they have some really nice how-to videos. They recommend that you use Flitz polish. Now this polish doesn't really have abrasives and chemicals in it that will damage a nice vintage razor, but it sure does clean them up nice. Now that you've cleaned it up though, you want to sanitize it. So what I usually do is I just take an old toothbrush and I take antibacterial soap, and I'll wet the razor, I'll wet the toothbrush, I'll put the antibacterial soap on it, and I'll open this thing up and I'll scrub it and scrub it and scrub it and scrub it to clean it really well. Then, the next thing that I do is it's used, well, you've probably seen it if you've ever been to a vintage barber shop, with them jars with the blue liquid in it, Barbicide. You can buy I think this is what, a 16 ounce or 8 ounce or whatever. No, 16 ounce. And 1 ounce or 2 ounces, I think it is, for a 32 ounce jar, or you can dumb it down if you want, put it in an 8 ounce jar. But this will clean all the surfaces that were soiled with blood or any body fluids associated with a potential for transmitting HIV, AIDS, hepatitis V, or hepatitis C. This stuff kills it all. So what I usually do is I usually soak this after I've polished it, cleaned it with the antibacterial, for about 20 minutes. Now you know this thing is ready to use. But to be definitely safe, what I do now is I rinse it off. I'll put it in my dishwasher on the hot cycle with the dishes, and I will sanitize it that way. Now, probably just one of those ways would do it, but do you really want to, this is probably a 1958, I think. You really want to shave your face? You know how many times that's cut somebody? And, you know, I don't want blood traces. I don't want to catch anything. And then what I do is I get some mineral oil. I've got this cool little bottle that I just filled up. I went to the pharmacy, and you can get mineral oil at the pharmacies. It's used for everything, even a laxative, I think. And I just take the mineral oil. I've got a cool little brush. Actually, this came out of, I think, a fishing, to lube your fishing reel. But I keep the mineral oil in there, and I'll put a dab in the moving parts on this one because it's a twist to open. So now my razor is sanitized, it's polished, and it's lubed, and it's ready to do its job. So the next video you're probably going to see is this rocket in action. But that's to answer some of the questions on what I do to clean and sanitize a vintage Gillette razor. And if you've seen any of my videos, you know I've got a lot of those vintage Gillette razors. So I've done that process on all of them. All right, well, until the next video, this is Kensurfs saying have a good night.